But I think it's more likely we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence. It's increasing exponentially.
The government continues to warn of imminent and escalating cyber attacks. Our intelligence agencies are preparing our military for the next battlefield, cyberspace. Very serious and scary stuff. Because the threat is so prevalent, we've asked Hedgy to analyze which cybersecurity companies are best positioned to capitalize and hopefully protect us during the coming wars. To become familiar with the cybersecurity space, the best place to start is by identifying the most popular cybersecurity ETF. Then Hedgy will rate all the ETF constituents and identify the top performers. Lastly, we'll compare the top companies to their industry peers. The best way to gauge a company's potential is to compare them to their competitors. We've identified symbol CIBR as the most popular cybersecurity ETF. Let's see what Hedgy thinks of the ETF. Here's the breakdown of the ETF constituents or underlying stocks. We'll review the individual companies in the next video. First, let's evaluate the Cyber ETF to determine if it's the right time to buy it. If you follow us, you know that Hedgy's artificial intelligence uses the following 4 gauges to predict market relative returns. Our machine-learned industry-specific gauges are cheapness, momentum, profitability, and sentiment. We'll view the Cyber ETF through these lenses. Each lens provides a different view to help the investor understand the investment worth of the entire ETF. Each score is the bottom-up aggregation of its holdings. Here, the platform charts the history of these 4 gauges to understand the investment value of the Cyber ETF. Cyber ETF cheapness has been less than average with little movement since the fund's inception. Cheapness has a current score of 32. A score over 60 means that the stock presents a good value. Profitability score for the ETF holdings is above average with a score of 70 out of 100. Cyber sentiment score is currently on a sharp upturn and is rated at 62. The sentiment score gauges the views of the professional Wall Street analysts concerning the earnings potential of the ETF holdings. Momentum has been trending down in the past few months after a strong second half of 2020. It currently sits at 56 out of 100. Our artificial intelligence has shown that the best time to buy into an investment theme is when all 4 aggregated bottom-up gauges are above 60. CIBR has 2 scores, momentum and cheapness, below 60. This indicates an expensive stock and downward trending financials. The upward turn in sentiment and the above-average profitability scores are positive signals, but it may not be the right time to buy the Cyber ETF. There are more profitable options in the cybersecurity space. In our next video, we'll examine the individual cybersecurity companies that make up the ETF, and Hedgy will predict the top 3 performers.